welcome Commissioner Robert Walker to the podium to give us our city report.
Well, good morning, everybody. Yes, I am the newly elected Commissioner Rob Walker, and absolutely thrilled to be here. What a gorgeous day. Where I'm standing, I'm seeing a beautiful golf course. So first of all, I want to thank the Dunedin Council of Organizations for allowing me the opportunity to provide the city report today. February marks another very exciting month here in Dunedin. There are no unexciting months here in Dunedin. This weekend, not only will we be celebrating Mardi Gras, but we'll also be welcoming back the Toronto Blue Jays. Again, never a shortage of events, and there's always something to do here. Let me provide a few updates on a few things that I know are near and dear to everybody's heart. First of all, the new City Hall, that is progressing very well. There are a few things that do need to occur before we get our permit for occupancy. Amongst those is addressing just a few items on the punch list to get those repaired and corrected so that we can get that permit. We are currently on track for a move-in date of February 25th, and that will truly be an exciting day. If you've driven by recently, the signage is up, the landscaping is nearing completion, parking lot is almost done, and the building is coming together in a manner fitting this wonderful town of Dunedin. And I think we'll all be very happy once we've consolidated most of the departments under one single roof. Let me give a quick update on the Gladys Douglas Park, another exciting event that's coming up here this month. We will be doing a ribbon cutting on February 25th starting at 10 a.m., at which point Gladys Douglas will be open to the public. Now, as you're all aware, or should be aware, the city acquired a parcel of land just to the north of Gladys Douglas, and that contains Jerry Lake. Now, those two parcels will be combined to create just an absolutely fabulous parkland, open parkland environment for the city. And we're looking at Jerry Lake as being essentially the second phase of this opening. We can anticipate that happening within the next year and a half, 2 years. And essentially that will include a launch for non-motorized boats, such as kayaks and canoes. So once we have those, it's just going to be, world-class open land for the city of Dunedin. Let me provide a quick update on the golf course. The city is on track, and the current plan is to take over full operation of the golf course starting on July 1st of 2023. And the city's been working closely with the club to make sure that transition plan remains on track. We've also hired a new general manager who's going to not only oversee the restoration, but also to manage the club into the future. Now, this is the renovation itself. If you've taken a look at the current plan as it is going to restore the golf course back to its original Donald Ross standard, which is significant because there are only a few of those types of courses here in the United States. And the hope and desire is that the membership increase and then subsequently hopefully attracting large tournaments here are going to be an economic boom for the city of Dunedin. And I think that's something that we should all be looking forward to. So where are we at? Next steps. The master plan is being developed. That master plan will be briefed to the city commission, I believe, sometime in April. But as part of this process, there will be a community hearing on this that'll occur on Tuesday, February 21st, 6:30 p.m. at the Hale Center. Other key dates in this process are that the architectural design is scheduled to be completed by October of 2023. The course construction is scheduled to begin in March of 2024 with completion in November of 2024. The other item that I want to just talk briefly about is the marina rate study. We had an opportunity, the commission had an opportunity to review and discuss with the consultant with regards to next step in that marina rate study. And the commission did provide some direction to get additional information, but we can anticipate an ordinance coming up for approval, I think also in April, that basically will address the plan for the rate structure in the Dunedin Marina. There are a couple of community hearings also on that event. First one will be Wednesday, February 22nd, 6 p.m. And then the second one will be Tuesday, February 28th, 9 a.m. And those will all be at the public library. Okay, final update here, Sterling Park. We have had the opportunity to receive a survey with a number of different suggestions and feedback on what was the proposed plan for this open space over here. And I have to say that we got a lot of feedback. And this was the survey obviously happened after the January 4th meeting. And where things currently stand is that staff are reviewing and will be compiling, and we expect to have a staff recommendation sometime in April as well. It's obviously our responsibility to make sure that that feedback is incorporated and that we are paying attention to the impacted elements of the community in terms of how this gets addressed. All right, in closing, I wish to convey my appreciation for the feedback I've received since taking office. I have to say it's been an absolutely wonderful transition. This is a wonderful community. I am honored to serve. And just as a reminder, the process only works with your feedback, so please let us know what you think. Thank you, and go Blue Jays.
Okay, and now we'll welcome to the podium Jeff Rhodes from Florida Auto Exchange.
Good morning, everybody. Boy, it sure is fun to follow the city coming up here. You know, a car dealer, city. My goodness, great job. It's great to be here as the sponsor of this great DCO organization and being up here with the Blue Jays. Welcome back to the Blue Jays. My name is Jeff Rhodes, sometimes known as Dr. Credit. Excuse me. I've been selling cars, servicing cars and financing cars and renting cars in Dunedin for almost, believe it or not, 35 years. And I'm still just a kid. Sometimes I just can't believe it. You may have passed our store. We're located on the corner of Main Street and Belcher as you're heading out to 19. We always try to have a wide selection of sports cars, SUVs, and of course, trucks. Over the last couple of years, it's been kind of a little rocky road trying to get everything that everybody wants, especially at a price that everybody also wants. But we've survived, and we are continuing to try and provide good quality products to everybody. We also service what we sell. We have a service department, and what we try to do at the beginning, whenever we buy a car, and we only buy cars from new car dealerships. We don't buy cars from used car lots or anything like that. We generally try to get one owner, low mileage trades. Once we get the cars, we bring the cars back. We service them. We put them through. We have a real rigorous service checklist that we go through. And unfortunately, a lot of them don't always make the grade. You know, we also wholesale cars. We buy them. If they don't make the grade, we wholesale them back out and let them go to some other dealer somewhere else. But we service what we sell, and we provide good, clean products. We actually have we have some changes, some updates to what we've been doing over the last last year. We recently moved our service department. We used to be down on the north side of 580 heading towards US 19. But we moved, we are now at a much smaller operation over on the frontage road On 19, if you go to 580 and you make a left on the frontage road and head north, as you head up on the frontage road, you stay on the frontage road, and there's Maple Lanes, the bowling alley. Right before the bowling alley, I didn't design this. There's a nice metal building out front. There's a lingerie shop on one side and a tattoo parlor on the other. Well, don't go there. You can either go around that building and you go to the back. We are in the metal building in the back at Unit B. So, and you really can't miss us. There's just autos back there. So, and we're right across the street, and I hate to say it, from Loki. Of course, they're way over on the other side. But if you see their big flagpole, that's now my direction marker. So look at the big flagpole, get across 19, and we're in the back. But anyway, we still have service. We're still operating. We still, anytime we sell a car, you always have our service. You know, we try to provide service from the day you buy the car until you buy your next car, and then we provide it on that one. So in any event, we also have rent-a-used car rental. I think most of you know that, but rent-a-used car rental's been around up until 6 months ago. They were in the same building since 1979. We now moved that office to our office on the corner of Main Street and Belcher. So we're still renting cars. We rent daily rentals, weekly rentals, and monthly rentals. And to our Canadian friends, we rent a lot of cars to our Canadian friends. They come down and rent a car for 2 or 3 months. So, so we have rent-a-used car rental. We also provide financing. And there's somewhat of a little misnomer out there that we only finance people that have bad credit. We actually finance a small portion of the cars we sell to people that have bad credit. Most people are just regular credit. And a little tutorial, I guess, on credit. Whenever you buy a car, interest rates, you know, we all know interest rates have gone up a little bit over the last couple of months, but interest rates, you know, they're still actually really, you know, if you look at me, you know, I'm not a kid anymore. Interest rates used to be really high, you know, now, then they went to almost nothing, and now they're up a little bit more. But your interest rate depends on your credit. It's purely that simple. If you have a good Beacon score, we can get you the best interest rate you can get anywhere. We have outlets at all local banks and a lot of banks that aren't local, but it's a one-stop shop. You come in, you buy a car, we can finance you right there. You never have to go to your own bank or any of that stuff, and you can compare rates and all that, but we can get you as good, or most of the time a better rate than you'd get anywhere. But it depends on your credit. Now, if you don't have really great credit, we can still sell you the same car. We don't have cars that are, oh, this car is for you because you got great credit, or this car is for you because you don't. All the cars. You pick out the car, you buy whatever you want, and then we get you financed. We have our own finance company, Secor Financial, and what happens with Secor Financial is those are no matter how your credit is, once you buy the car, and if you buy the car through us, at some point or another, we will get you financed. If it's kind of like the finance company of last resort, but you'll end up going through Secor Financial. But it's still a licensed finance company, the same as everybody else. There's no difference in terms. Everything's the same. So the long story short with all that is, we can finance anybody, and we can get you the best rate. You know, whatever your credit dictates is what your interest rate will be. So we can take care of all that. We are a one-stop shop. You know, we take care of all your automobile needs, no matter what they are. If you need to buy a car, you need to sell a car, you need to rent a car, we've been doing it for a long, long time, and we take good care of you as far as any of that goes. And I could talk to you all day about cars. You know, I mean, it's you know, because that's all we do. We don't do anything else. You know, we don't have side hustles or anything else. Everything is in the car business. But in closing, you know, I see a lot of familiar faces in this room. You know, and we've sold a lot of cars to you folks, and we've serviced a lot of cars, and we've run out a lot of cars through you over the years. And I gotta tell you, I really want to thank you all for all your patronage for over the years, because we wouldn't have been there for all these years if it wasn't for you and the citizenry of Dunedin. You know, I got really, really lucky, you know, almost 40 years ago when I bought this house in Dunedin and ended up moving to this community. This is a wonderful community. We are all really, really blessed to live here. And I certainly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart from everybody that has done something, has purchased a car from me, or has done some service that we have to offer. I thank you very, very much. You know, we're all real lucky. You know, we're all lucky to live here and be able to be associated with this great place. So that's all I got. It was all great to see all you. Thank you very much.
Okay, for our spotlight this morning, we have Ileana, and I'm not sure that she's going to be able to come up to the podium, but you can just go ahead and take my place so that everybody will be able to see. Larry, do you need me to pause for a second? Make sure we get you.
Good morning, everybody. Before I start, I'd like to say some thank yous. First off, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming here to this early meeting. And second, I'd like to thank my parents. We got one here, we got one over there. And then third, I'd like to give a huge thank you to my gifted teacher, Miss Daly, who's right over there. My name is Ileana Gorshi, and I'm the cereal girl. I go to Garrison Jones Elementary School, and I'm in the gifted program. I started my cereal drive because I had to do a service project in my gifted class. That was all the way back in first grade, and now I'm in fifth grade. So that means that this is my fifth cereal drive. When I started, I was with Mr. Joe and Mr. Ed at Dunedin Cares. That year, I only asked for 80 boxes, but I got over 600 boxes of cereal. In 2020, I got the Sheriff's Community Service Award, and that was quite exciting. Last year, I got 1,695 boxes of cereal, which is amazing. This year, I'm only doing 1 week instead of 1 month to get cereal. I don't have a goal this year because I believe every box counts. But so far, we seriously need a lot. Help me stock up the pantry. You can donate any cereal, but take it easy on the Cheerios. They get a lot of those, unless they're Rogo. You can drop the cereal off at the Dunedin Public Library or send them to my mom. If you need her address, just ask my mom. I believe breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so help me fill up the pantry with cereal. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and now for our program. It's February, and that means it's almost March. Spring training's on its way. And we are lucky enough to have Shelby Nelson, the Director of Florida Operations for the Toronto Blue Jays, with our program.
I thought I was following Jeff because I can't follow that. And when I agreed on this, I was told this was going to be at City Hall this meeting today. So I thought we were doing this at City Hall. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just sorry. I know all about construction challenges, so I could definitely appreciate that from going through it with our renovation at TD Ballpark. So nice to be here. Every time I'm here, I think of when I moved here in October of 2008. There was the chamber yearly meeting, and my daughter was just 2 years old, and we had nobody to have to find a babysitter for, so we brought her here. We had both sections going, and she was running around, and my wife is completely embarrassed while my daughter, with everybody all with suits on and all dressed up, she's running around this place making yelling, and I hardly knew anyone, but it's 13 years later. I did not think I'd still be here 13 years later, but somehow the Blue Jays have kept me on during this time. And there's just so many familiar faces in here. And I just, there's such a partnership between the Blue Jays and the city of Dunedin and Pinellas County. I've seen it grow over the years and appreciate it all. I want to appreciate and talk about Commissioner Freeney that's here, who's our liaison with the Blue Jays, and enjoy having conversations with her as we've gone through many different things over the years, including 2 years ago when we had regular season baseball here and working together to make that happen, which was pretty darn cool. Commissioner Torringa, Commissioner Walker, Commissioner Callander here, and appreciate it. We definitely go back and forth on some things, but at the end of the day, we really make sure what's best for the city and what's best for everybody, and I think we've done a really good job of that. I want to thank City Manager Jennifer Brimley that's here, and Deputy City Manager Jorge, who we've enjoyed working with to help us through many different things, and Phyllis, who's a great a neighbor of ours, and we steal a lot of her parking at different times. I'm not supposed to ever mention parking around here, right? There's no mention of parking. And definitely our Pinellas County Sheriff Department that's extremely helpful to us through our entire season. Obviously, spring training, you'll see a lot of them around at our ballpark, and we appreciate everything they do to keep us safe at TD Ballpark and throughout the city and county. I used to be a lot more involved in the city of Dunedin, in the chamber and other things. My third child has definitely prevented that to happen. But I still get involved with our Dunedin Little League, Dunedin High School that we got to see yesterday. We have a great relationship with the high school, which has grown. They played their game last week at TD Ballpark, and I think all of their games except for one are currently scheduled for TD Ballpark this year. So I hope you all go and support your high school. I know they have a really good team. Yesterday was a pretty cool day. And again, when I got here, I never would have imagined that we would have 3 different events in 2 days at our facilities. The first one was on 2 days ago. Major League Baseball showed up and did a rules presentation. And I'll go over what those new rules are, but going over some pretty significant new rules for Major League games this year. So we had the number 2 for the commissioner that was here. We had 40 media members here for that. It was a pretty cool thing. If you're watching MLB TV or if you're on Twitter, TD Ballpark was all over the place. You would have seen the Dunedin sign in the outfield. You would have seen other things like that. So a lot of media press for that. And then yesterday at our player development complex, we had the GMs and the presidents of all 15 Grapefruit League teams travel to our facility for a media day. So we had 60 media members that were there, and then teams from Palm Beach that had to fly in and other locations. So they haven't held that since 2020 because of COVID and some other reasons. But I never would have imagined when I was here when we started that they would ever come to our city and our facilities to do it. But with the partnership and with the renovations and everything going on, it was pretty neat to do that. And then the commissioner of baseball, Manfred, did a press conference at the player development complex. And a funny story, we're really proud of it. We think it looks beautiful. We set him up outside, and had some beautiful palm trees behind him. And they wanted to put a backdrop, an MLB backdrop on him, and went over to the guys that are running it and was working with them, said, hey, it would be really nice if we didn't have the backdrop. And we just went ahead and just kept the palm trees and our logo. And they hoot and hollered a little bit, and then, started putting it back up. As soon as it went up, big gush of wind came, knocked it all down. And there went the backdrop. So I appreciate whoever wanted to bring that big gush of wind in here, but it worked out just perfect. So if you have MLB.com on today or MLB TV, you're going to see a lot of our facility there, which we're extremely proud of. I know it's a little bit private. I know some of you have come to tour it, but but it is a beautiful facility that teams all over Major League Baseball. I continually do tours pretty much weekly, not this time of the year because we're really, really busy, but we definitely are proud of that facility. So, and then last night we had the governor's baseball dinner that was there. It's nice to be at this event with no protesters, so that's good. But it was a really fun event. It was the governor. We got to have Dunedin High School baseball meet with the governor one-on-one before the event, and took a beautiful picture with the governor. And they had definitely a memorable day at TD Ballpark yesterday. A lot of you that had as much sleep as I did last night were there. It was a really cool event to be a part of. Again, the governor did a speech. The commissioner of baseball did a speech. Cito Gaston, ex-manager for the Blue Jays, received an award. Our president, Mark Shapiro, also spoke, and our mayor, Julie, spoke yesterday. So it was a really nice event, a few-hour event there, and something I never thought we would have. So really proud that the city and the Blue Jays could be a part of that. Just a small update of if any of you have heard about the J Hotel. That's something that we're really happy and proud of. It's not specifically a Blue Jays facility, but it is definitely worked with the city and a contractor to be able to put that together. So we have a lot of players here. Currently, minor league spring training hasn't officially started, but we already have 120 players and I think 90 coaches here. Major league spring training from a pitching and catching perspective has started. And so we have 40 major league guys that are currently here, which will grow to 80. So in our facility, we're going to have about 450 to 500 baseball players and coaches there. That doesn't include all the executive that comes in. So we need a place for our minor league players to stay. And they currently stay a little bit of everywhere. We have a hotel in Oldsmar they utilize. We have a hotel in Clearwater they utilize, but we're super excited to be able to have this hotel that they can utilize, hopefully starting next year, to be able to have our players in our city, which we're really proud of, and we really wanted to stay in Dunedin and be able to utilize that place, primarily taking a bus back and forth. Most of those minor league players won't have transportation, but keeping them here, spending their money while they're here, and keeping them pretty close to our player development complex where they are. We currently have a bus. If you ever see a two-story bus driving around town, so it's currently parked at our player development complex, stays there, and then they take it in the morning and move it back and forth. So it's going around town to drop off our players and bring them in. But it's a really exciting thing for the Blue Jays. I'm happy that the city worked with us to get that completed. It's going to be really important for us to keep our players here safe and to have a place for them, because we all know that finding housing right now is not the easiest of things, especially this time of the year. The last 3 years have been interesting for the club, with the COVID and with Canada primarily being shut down for a while and having to play regular season games here. And then last year, for those that don't know, there was a lockout, so we got a little bit late. So this is our first normal year in 3. So from a ticket sales perspective, from attendance, we don't know really what to think and what to believe, because we haven't had Canadians for a while. I'm sure you can see Ontario license plates have arrived. A lot of Canadians here, or as Dr. Credit had mentioned, renting cars and being here in Dunedin. So we've definitely seen an influx of Canadians in town coming to what they refer to Ballpark as the consulate of Canada. Just walk in when they like. The shops, they walk here when they're there. But we're excited. Opening day is on the 26th. We only have standing room only seats available, so It will be the highest attended opening day that I've ever been a part of. Really excited about that. We have a good 50 more games afterwards. So attendance is looking really positive for us. This is really our part of the year that attendance really goes up and our sales go up at this time of the year as we get closer and closer to opening day. But it's nice to see the excitement around town. We're trying to do as much as we can around the community to be able to get everyone engaged with, banners and posters, and everybody in the community has been super supportive and really excited for spring training baseball to be back. Talking about the rules, I'm going to give you a couple of really cool rules. So in the minor leagues, they started what's called a pitch clock. And when it started, it was a little challenging for our minor league players. So our average game was 3 hours and I think it was like 6 minutes. And they brought in the pitch clock. You had 14 seconds to throw the ball. The batter had 8 seconds to get into the box, or if he didn't get in the box, it would have been an automatic strike if the pitcher doesn't release or start his motion within the 14 seconds. It was an automatic ball. A lot of baseball fanatics didn't like the rule, didn't like the idea that you can have an automatic ball or automatic strike, but you can equate it to the NBA where you have a 24-second clock. You can talk about the NFL where you have 40 seconds to make your player, you get a penalty. So this is just evolving to that. And as a person that loves the game, but also loves not being home at midnight, it was amazing. Our games were reduced by 30-something minutes last year, just on that rule alone. So it was, I was proud of my son, because he was really upset. He goes, "Oh, the games are going to be shorter now." But I mean, he's the only one that would ever kind of say that. I think he likes staying up later, so maybe he'll figure it out later. But so MLB is starting that rule this year. It'll be a 15-second play clock, and then with guys on base, it'll be a 20-second. So it was. We're really excited, or I'm really excited about it. I'm definitely a supporter of the rule. There'll be plenty of other people that will not be supporters at first. But once the pitchers and everybody gets used to it, it'll go by really quick. And by the second month, we only have 1.4 infractions per game, which is less than the NFL gets for the 40-second clock, play clock. So just that's what they're using as a comparable, but I think that's a pretty good comparable. The other rules you'll notice is different is there's no more shifts. So you can't have 3 players on one side of the field. So your Tampa Bay Rays were very good at doing the shift. Actually, in the Blue Jays too, were one of the 2 teams that did it the most. So that will not be allowed in Major League Baseball anymore. You'll have to have 4 people that are on the infield, infield dirt. So that's one of them. And then the third one is, if you're watching a game, you're like, man, those bases look bigger. They are bigger. They're 3 inches bigger. And it's amazing to see. They look like a giant pillow. But there's 2 reasons for it. One is safety for the first baseman. So they get a little bit more room, a little less contact. And the other one was it's going to actually move, it moves both bases closer together. So now stolen bases. The fans have told Major League Baseball and told everyone that the things that they're excited about are stolen bases, triples. Everything that they're trying to do is trying to improve the pace of play and try and improve what fans are looking for. So those are something to look for if you're watching your baseball game or you come to a spring training game and you hear them call automatic ball and stuff like that. And we're going to have to educate our ushers and our staff because there's going to be a lot of confused people when they come to our ballpark this year. Minor league baseball games, minor league season, we have 66 games at TD Ballpark. Please come, enjoy a couple of minor league games. I love them. You get to see the kids as they grow and get through the system. We go through from middle or second week in April through September. So hopefully you all get to enjoy that. Again, opening day is on the 26th. We for the spring training. And then for those that have seen it, we are doing a new welcome back event this year. We're trying something different which would work really well with the city of Dunedin. It's the golf cart parade is one portion of it, which will take what I've been told is the normal golf cart route, which I don't know what that means, but the normal route around town. And then we'll end at TD Ballpark, where we're going to have an open house, free hot dogs, drinks. We're going to have yard games, bunch of games put out there. We have a band that will be doing some stuff in the city, and the chamber has a bunch of vendors that will be there. So you can also go on the field, take some pictures. Just wanted to have something to welcome the Jays in town, but welcome our fans back and get to do something different in our ballpark. And of course, the Jay shop will be open, and you will be forced to leave that way. It's just like you're at Disney. That's all I have. I am available if anyone has any questions that they'd like to ask about the Blue Jays or anything going on. Mr. Carson. It is something I know they're definitely going to look at next year. So that's a great question. We used in the minor leagues robo umpires. So with technology the way that it is, there is that opportunity. So our single A team used it for half of the games, and then they had what was called the challenge rule, which was my favorite. And both teams, like the NFL, had 3 challenges. If they won the challenge, they got to keep the challenge. If they lost the challenge, they would lose it. So it was somewhat strategic, where only the pitcher, the catcher, and the hitter could challenge. And if anything was said from the dugout, it was over. And it was instantaneous. So the game was not slower by it. And what they were doing in AAA was, if you ever watched tennis, where they would show you the challenge play happening and the ball hitting either on the line or off the line. That's what they were doing on the scoreboard, showing that pitch coming in, and you could, it added some drama to it. And they haven't said what they're going to do, but I think they're probably leaning towards that at some point. But nothing yet for robo ups. But I think it would be great if we had the challenge rule.
I want to thank the Toronto Newspaper organization, also a lot of local foods in the area.
Thanks for recognizing that. Yeah, we try really hard. I know I work with Dunedin Little League. I'm no longer at Dunedin Little League for my son, but we definitely do a bunch for Dunedin Little League and some other ones. And yeah, I'll be there on Saturday. So yes. Someone else.
When is the golf cart?
That will be on Sunday, and it starts at 1:00. And it's all the other information is available online. The chamber has all that information. This Sunday. At least come for a free hot dog. It's the only time you're gonna get a free hot dog in our stadium. Have about 3 of them, and then your 4th one will feel like it's the right price. All right, thank you. Thank you.